Alright, got the next build here. I just picked it up, actually brought it straight to the car wash because as you can see, it is filthy. Yeah, obviously this was a mud and or gravel truck. So it's seen better days. But yeah, this is the one that had the engine fire. And I'm kind of, I wonder why they had a fire here. That looks factory. So it's too bad people do things janky like that and end up killing the truck. I mean, it's not the nicest truck in the world, but still a truck nonetheless. And we're gonna try and bring it back to life. We'll see. But yeah, it is mud everywhere. Left me some nice presents in the bed. How kind of them. And yeah, broken handle, not a big deal. Seats torn up. Yeah, the interior's seen better days, that's for sure. Well, here's the aftermath of getting the truck all cleaned up. Obviously, it's a dirty job and it's still not 100% done. So let's pan over and we'll show you how terrible it still looks. As you can see, it is black. I wasn't sure when I bought it. I did say black, but it looked blue in some places. But yeah, here's a black under there. But got the 9 tons of mud out, or at least tried. And try to clean out those pockets. They're still full of mud, but it's better, I suppose. But yeah, door jambs are way better. I'm sure it's going to need at least 30 more treatments to make this thing look halfway respectable. But here's the damage side. Obviously they ripped the wheel liner out. I'm not seeing a whole lot down here. Everything looks pretty good. Well, let's go up top, see if we can get a better view. So I took the beauty cover off, and we can see it definitely did damage some of the wires. But man, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna try and fix what's here or just replace the whole harness. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't look, it didn't even melt these heater hoses. I mean, I'm gonna need a new coil connector. Probably pick one of those up used. Obviously a new dipstick. But yeah, I mean, this is the nice wiring I'm talking about. I mean, you can see the shit's still live and it's going in the cab. And you can see that this was singeing a little bit. So I need to get that out of here because that's obviously no good. And figure out what all we need to fix on this thing. But I mean, it doesn't look like it got the intake melted. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do injectors. Maybe that back one looks a little crappy. I can see a corn cob back there. Wonder if a little critter got happy in here and chewed on some stuff. But it's relatively clean in here. So I don't know. We're gonna see what we can do with this one. New engine harness is about 800 bucks and they don't make them anymore. Used harness on eBay is about 250. And either I could take the whole harness off and put it on, or cut both harnesses, kind of splice it together. I don't know, I think the whole harness would be the better way to go. But it looks all right. I can't check the oil because obviously the dipstick is melted in. I'll have to see about extracting that. I did pull the cap, it looked okay. I'm assuming they were gonna have to put the fire out somehow, so this thing had to have got some water in it. But who knows how much. right, here with the 07 GMC Sierra fire truck, or the truck that had the engine burn. Not sure which one we're gonna go with yet, but brought it in the shop and was working on getting the harness done. And actually the harness is done. As you can see, we've got the junkyard markings on the old harness. It's all been routed. Got the harness over here, the old harness I should say, and yeah, it was it's seen better days. That's actually the oil dipstick pull melted to the wires, and I mean, not as bad as I was expecting. We honestly probably could have cut out this 2-foot section and spliced in new, but yeah, figured just getting a new harness, then you don't have any worries and don't have to think if it's good, bad, or ugly. But got it in the air, got the harness in, and while it was in the air, been knocking off the 9 tons of mud and dirt and corn cob and everything else that's in here. It was definitely a farm truck, and it's everywhere. I mean, my God. I already pressure washed this thing once, as you guys saw, and it still has dirt. I mean, there's a big old chunk I missed. Dirt everywhere. So, working on getting it cleaned up. Got the oil changed, got the transmission fluid changed. Checked the fluids before starting it up, and oil was good. Actually, it's perfect level. Actually looked like it just been changed not long ago. Transmission was severely overfilled, so I'm assuming water got in there when they were putting the fire out, and or when I was pressure washing it, and I may be the culprit. I don't know. But I sucked that empty and then filled it back up with the correct amount. But yeah, got it on the ground. As you can see, new harness is all routed. Got a new coil rail for this side. Got new plug wires for the whole truck. I've only done this side so far. But there's the old rail. As you can see, why we had to get a new one. Coils actually don't look bad. I can probably save those if I really wanted to. But I just got a whole thing, so I didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, I mean, it surprisingly fires right up. We got the harness on, got the coil swapped, got all the fluids checked, and I'm like, you know what? I put the battery on the tender all day while we were working on it. Put it back in, put the key in, and it started up. I left for a little bit to go get dinner with the wife. Let's see if it still fires up. Obviously, we're going to have a couple lights. Mass airflow is still unhooked. Who knows what else is wrong with it. But service track control, service stability track, service airbag, hood open. And yeah, so we're actually going to go and put new coolant hoses on them, because the ones that are on here did get burnt, and they do have a hole in them. So I want to get those replaced. I guess I'll put some coolant in this thing and see about having an idle and, well, maybe drive it a little bit. So these are the hoses I'm talking about. And as you can see, they got a little crispy and they did get burnt on the bottom. So tank's empty. We're going to replace those hoses and see if it actually holds coolant, see if it overheats, and go from there.